Please welcome to the stage Katie Holmes. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you.
It's quite the big turnout. I do a lot of these, and I gotta say, this is one of the biggest turnouts I've seen.
Really, thank you all for coming. It's so nice to see you all. Thank you.
So I'm going to be opening up to everyone here for some audience questions for around 20 minutes, but first I'm going to get some ones out of the way. This is one twisted little movie. It's a lot of fun. It's really dark, really funny. How did you come onto the project?
Well, I've had the script sent to me, and I read it, and I was very taken by Miss Meadows because she felt like such an original character, and she is funny and very childlike, but she also does carry a pistol in her purse and uses it. And just, I thought the challenge of creating a character that is truthful in both realms of being a teacher and also this vigilante killer was going to be a huge challenge, and one that, you know, I thought could be kind of fun.
What about her specifically spoke to you? Do you have an inner vigilante that you've been wanting to let loose on film, or, I don't know, in real life maybe?
Well, you know, Karen Lee Hopkins, our writer-director, when I spoke to her the first time, she said, you know, when she was expecting her baby girl, who's now 12 years old, she saw a newspaper article about a little girl who was abducted out of her bedroom window. Of course, it scared her, and she said that's when I started thinking, I wish there was a character out there, you know, who could just save all these kids, who could just go out and handle it and right the wrongs of society. So that's where Miss Meadows originated from, and I have to say, she's such an, you know, her actions are very extreme. But I think that instinct to protect innocence is definitely something that I think we all have. So it was fun to use that instinct. And then, you know, for the performance, take it a step further.
About taking up the step further, do you see her as a little mentally unhinged? Because you kind of play her as a little off-kilter. There's something just not quite right about her temperament. How did you approach that aspect of the role? And do you even see her in those terms?
Well, how I approached this role is I know that Miss Meadows really believes in everything that she does. And she is very specific about the way in which she views life and manners, and she has a bit of a control. She wants, I think that, to me, she holds on to manners as a way to control things in her life. But she's also very free, but she is a little quirky, but she had to be in order to get to the place where we reveal why she does what she does. So yeah, she's a little bit off. I guess I could have just said that.
I'm not going to give away why she does what she does. It's revealed late in the film. But had that not been in the script, do you think you could have taken this role on, or, you know, would you have taken it on and just created that backstory for the character?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know, because I think what attracted me was this slow unfolding of this character, and I think that it mirrors life. You know, you get an impression of someone, and then slowly over time you understand why they behave the way that they do, and that's, you know, why I act and why I love good books and good movies. So I really liked seeing the revelation of her, but also the journey that she takes in this film. You know, this is a character who's very stuck in time in a lot of ways, but we get to watch her fall in love for the first time and, you know, get engaged. And so it's, you know, everything's happening for the first time right in front of you. And I thought that was kind of fun to play and important.
Are you an actor who feels the need to create a backstory for a character if there is not one given in the script?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it's very necessary to understand who the character is and to hold on to certain truths so that you're grounded in the performance.
How do you do that? Do you write a little diary or a Cliff Notes version
Oh,
of
I
their
kind of
history?
done all of that, diary, music, paintings, things that inspire me. I work with a wonderful person who helps me prepare for different projects, and we come up with a lot of different things that kind of help you when it's time to start filming.
Mm-hmm. Did you work with that person to create the look of Miss Meadows? Because as everyone can see in the trailer, she has a style all onto herself. It's quite unique and childlike in a way. What went into the costuming for the character?
Well, I have to say we had a wonderful wardrobe designer, and she really brought this fresh look at creating this character. And we talked about how, because Miss Meadows is a school teacher to young children, that we wanted her look to be very pleasing to little people, especially little girls. And she has a little girl quality to her. So it was really about finding very specific original pieces, some vintage, just anything that had sort of a poetry to it. And that's the genius of our wardrobe designer. And Karen as well. She was very collaborative and in the design of the character.
How important is that for you in order to access, a character's inner core, the outside look of what she, who she is, what she wears?
I think it's very important, and I get very inspired by the look of a character, and it's little things. If a sweater is embroidered, I think, oh, why? I wonder why that person chose that. And then it gives me something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you're playing someone, you kind of depend on those little things, because in life, we pick things out for a reason. So I always get very inspired by working with very talented designers, and it makes me definitely feel like I'm, the character when I get all dressed up.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped on the Kennedys a
Yes.
lot.
Yes, that along with the contacts and the wig, and I was like, oh yeah.
So we're going to watch our first clip of 2 from the film. Now, the guy who plays the sheriff in the film, his name is James Badgedale, and with a name like that, he's kind of born to play a sheriff at one point in his career.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
Now, he's great in the film, and you two share a lot of scenes together, and I'm giving a little spoiler away, but you two share, I have to say, probably the most awkward sex scene I've seen this year. You just giggle. Her character giggles through the entire thing, fully clothed, no nudity. What was it like to shoot that sequence? I imagine it must have been kind of strange.
Well, it was funny. It was.
How do you think she views sex? She kind of acts like a little girl. I don't want to say that. That sounds wrong, but.
Well, in the script it said that this was her first experience.
Okay.
So, we just thought that she'd probably be nervous and giggle. So that's just kind of what happened. And it was funny.
It's a great sequence. It's a great scene.
Thank you.
Now, you tap dance in this movie a lot. You play a lot of hopscotch. That's hopscotch, right? Did I get that right?
Yes, that's hopscotch.
I'm sorry. I haven't played that since I was 5 or 6. But you do tap dance. You're a dancer in real life, correct?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tap dance as well, or was that new to you? Was that something you had to pick up?
Oh, no. I love tap dancing.
You love tap dancing.
I've been tap dancing since before I took tap class, because I just wanted to move my feet. And I really love this about this character, because she has that freedom, like children have, where she just kind of goes on instinct, like, ooh, that looks good, or ooh, look over here, like, I think I'm gonna tap right now, like, and there's not a filter, and so that was really fun to play, and I got to do some old moves.
Was that in the script, or is that something you brought to the table?
Oh no, it was in the script, and then we might have taken it a step further because we really enjoyed the tapping. So
Now, Miss Meadows, it kind of falls in line with a string of independent projects that you've recently, taken on. I think I've seen you recently in Day and Night, which played at the IFC Theater, great film, and you were also in The Romantics, and you have a couple ones in the works. Do you feel a certain type of freedom working on independent projects that kind of eluded you when you worked on, say, a TV show like Dawsons Creek or something bigger like Batman?
well, I always think, I pick projects based on the type of character. They're kind of two different animals, of TV versus an indie movie, a big blockbuster versus an indie movie. And they're both very enriching, just in different ways. And for Miss Meadows, this was really just one of those rare experiences where it came together very quickly, and we shot it in 17 days, which is very, fast for a movie. And everyone was just on the same page, and it went very smoothly. I'm always looking for, interesting stories, great characters, but I've had a great time on all the projects I've done.
Now, it's worth noting that on IMDb, you seem busier than ever this year. IMDb can be totally wrong, so tell me if I'm completely off track.
Okay.
But you have 2 films in post-production, and you have 4 completed projects coming out this year alone, if I'm not mistaken, including
Really?
this one.
Okay. What
Yeah.
else?
Oh, geez. I don't have the names on me. I just have the numbers.
I hope that's right.
I hope
Sounds
it's right.
good.
Well, are you
There's
busy?
like 25 I've completed. No.
Are you busier than ever now? Do you feel like you're going through a stage in your career where you're taking on more projects than ever before in a shorter span of time?
Well, I think that I've had a lot of great opportunity, and I'm going to do the Kennedys again. I'm going to direct a movie in the next year. But also, a lot of times you'll do these little movies and you don't know when they're going to come out, and then they could all come out around the same time. So it looks like, whoa, you've been shooting back to back, and it actually took years for them to all come out. But I have been fairly busy, and I feel so, fortunate that I've worked with the people that I've worked with, and feeling really inspired, and I'm excited that Miss Meadows is it's coming out on iTunes as well as select cities, which is nice because for all the people that don't live in New York and LA and Chicago. So
you're not a stickler for only having your films appear on the big screen. You're totally embracing the VOD market, which is great.
Oh, absolutely. Because I find that I usually just go to kids' movies in the theater. So
Like most parents.
I totally understand. And planes, yeah. So.
What's the last thing you saw in the theaters?
Actually, I just saw Foxcatcher.
That's not for kids.
No, but
No.
it was incredible. The performances are unbelievable. The direction is superb. It's amazing.
Yeah. Wonderful film.
Yeah.
Also comes out this Friday as well. Yeah, but see this one. Now, it's crazy. I was just looking back when I was on your IMDb, and you've been acting since the mid-'90s, and such a range of projects. I'm sure lots of them pop up on TV. I'm sure you own a TV. Are you one to ever revisit something if it ever, I don't know, say airs on TV, or if you have a DVD that you want to show your kid?
Yeah, if something comes on, I'll watch a little bit of it, because usually it's like looking at old pictures and you remember, I remember that scene, and whether it was really cold out or whether the light was running out, or whether it was like, I was so stressed about that, or that was really fun. So it's really, it's full of good, memories. So yeah, I'll watch a little bit of it, and then I don't watch the whole thing. But yeah, I've had a great time in my career, so I always have a nice time looking back.
I grew up watching Dawsons Creek, I have to admit. I'm sure a lot of you folks are fans too. It's so fascinating to just see the trajectory that every cast member has really, really gone on since that show ended. I mean, everyone's just done so well and done such different things. Are you do you guys ever, I don't know, get together? I know the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants girls always have reunions. Are you for the same?
Well, we all still keep in touch and support each other, and luckily we all have been able to stay busy. And we had it was a wonderful time. I mean, it was 6 years of our lives, and we were all really passionate about making it the best it could be, and really believed in ourselves. And I love them all so dearly, and I'm so excited for everyone and proud. And I can't believe that it seems like it was yesterday, and then it seems like it was 100 years ago, making it. But we sure did have a good time, and it really, for me, it just taught such discipline. And we worked long hours, and it was every day, and we learned about telling a story in 7 days, and keeping energy with the character, and really, working. So it was a really good foundation for being in this business and putting the work in.
The endurance, I'm sure, helped you on working on an independent film where, what was the time frame for this film? I'm sure you only had 3 weeks or 4 weeks to shoot.
We did it in 17 days, so we had about 4 weeks. It's once you kind of have that in you, it's there, so you can get a lot done in a short period of time, and you can learn things quickly. It's good. It's good training for that. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to show the second clip from the film, and please start preparing your questions. So if you have a question, please just raise your hand, and someone's going to be coming around with a mic.
Hi. I was just wondering, you kind of hinted at this earlier, compared to your other roles, how is the experience of preparing for this role different than others?
Well, this character is one unlike any I've ever played before. So, I looked at, balancing out sort of her innocence with her darkness, and finding the different moments to hint at the darkness, and then the slow reveal. So, yeah.
When you're working on indie films versus major motion pictures, what's the biggest difference you feel, what you love about it, or kind of usually it's a different feel even, in the way it's shot? And so I was wondering if there's major differences that you notice.
Well, there are major differences, and I guess with a smaller film, it's really about getting the most in a short period of time for the least amount of money. And in my experience of working on a much bigger film is you really taking the time to spend the money wisely, and really taking the time to technically create just incredible shots, and that's kind of technically the difference between the two. But in terms of creating the characters, it's your job, so you do it the same in any realm.
For Batman Begins, The Giver, and Muppets from Space, what were Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Christopher Nolan, Jeff Bridges, and the Muppets like from your point of view?
I love that question. They were all very professional, very nice, funny, very hardworking, and they really knew how to be powerful on camera. Each one.
Well, it was funny that it mentioned a reference to Dayton, because I was going to ask you how your experience growing up in Ohio influenced this character. And also, are you going to try to be in a musical?
Well, I didn't know, I still don't know where Miss Meadows is actually from, but it was really wonderful to shoot this movie in Cleveland, Ohio. I am from Ohio, born and raised, and my family's there, and I have actually family all over the state of Ohio. And I have to say, it was really quite special and rewarding to work with a wonderful crew from Cleveland and to feel so taken care of. Yeah, and such warmth. It wasn't just the crew, it was the whole city really welcomed us. And so I'd love to work more there. And I'd love to do a musical. I love to kick, I love to sing, and I love to tap.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
You mentioned that you were going to be directing this coming year. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I'm still waiting for the script, but I optioned a book, and I'm going to give it a try. It'll be a smaller budget, and it's a two-person movie about a mother and daughter going across country. And I'm really excited about it. The Josh Boone, who directed The Fault in Our Stars, is writing it. And it's, Thank you.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for coming out tonight to share your backstories with us. I do have a question, though, on that phrase, Toodaloo. Is there a backstory to that, or is there something even from your childhood that may have crossed into your character as Miss Meadows?
Well, Toodaloo is all Karen Lee Hopkins' idea. Was, in the script from the beginning. I love the way it rolls off the tongue. And I do remember, as a little girl, giggling when you hear Toodaloo. It just feels fun. And so I really like that about Miss Meadows. It's, okay, she's going for it. She's going to use it.
You say that with total conviction. It's pretty awesome.
Oh.
Hi, Katie. My question is, what are the most important sacrifices that you made in order to succeed as an actress?
I've been very fortunate as an actress, and I have had a steady career and had a lot of opportunities, so I feel very, very fortunate. I think the advice that I would give anybody who was thinking about entering the business in any capacity would be to get ready to, travel quickly. If they say get on a plane in an hour, that means get on a plane in an hour. And be willing to put a lot of time in. And they're long hours sometimes, but they're the best hours, and really appreciate every single job and make the most of it. And really, if you think you're giving it your all, give it more. So that's what I would say.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Katie. And the
Thank
film's
you.
out on iTunes on November 14th. Please check it out.